Shop Not Slap Show. It's OG Ron C and DJ Candlestick.
Shop Stars, OVO Gang.
DJ Candlestick. One time for the homie DJ Screw. Already, I'm feeling throwed in this bitch. I'm so high, even when I'm coming down. Just met a girl, say she from the H-Town.
What up, CSG's Chop Shop Gang? It's that time. We're going to give you the news and updates from a crazy 2 days in the NBA. A lot of stuff that impacts the Rockets. I'm going to go through them, give you my take on them, try to do this quick, fast, in a hurry. Tap in, enjoy. So if you didn't know, we got a new look for the Chop Shop merch store. We got some new drops in there, some new sales coming up. I want you guys to go to the merch store. You don't have to buy anything. I just want you to go there and look at some of these fire designs that we got in there. Shout out to our CSGs. If you hear the term CSG on the channel, that stands for Chop Shop Gang. That's the community. That's those passionate Rockets fans that sit through 2-3 years of a rebuild, that sit through bad games, that sit through bad coaching. Shout out to y'all. We are at the cusp of glory. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Got to keep pushing through. Shout out to the CSGs. Go to the merch store. Check out the designs on there. If you like something, cop it, man. Cop it. Let them boys know what the CSG stands for, man. Tell them that you've been a die-harder. You went through the Christian Wood years. You went through the John Wall years. So keep repping. Keep supporting the Chop Shop, and we're going to keep dropping heat. Okay, first thing, Zion Williamson has become a trade target for the Houston Rockets. This is according to Keith Barlow. Not sure how I feel about this. I think, what's the old cliche? The best ability is availability, and he damn sure ain't got that ability, man. So I don't really know about the Zion thing. It's because the dude doesn't play, and he's been on the Pelicans for a couple of years. I mean, they've been better, but what has he really done for them? Half the times, they are basically pulling themselves up by the bootstraps without his help. So why would I want to trade away a haul to go get a guy that hasn't made an impact on the team that drafted him? So I don't know. Seems like Tillman just likes flashy things. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're capping. Maybe this is all just posturing like with everything else. Do I want Zion in Houston? No, I really don't care for him. If you think about the fit on the team, I mean, I really don't see the fit there. I don't see the fit there. I think that, he actually fits well in New Orleans. They need to work out their differences. Obviously, he has a situation going on with the female thing and him getting caught up with girls and, pillow talking and promising these girls he's going to marry them and love them. And then he goes to another girl and does it, rookie stuff. But nah, I don't want that in Houston. We got enough problems over here. So, yeah, Zion to Houston. Let's dead that. Next bit of news. It says the Toronto Raptors could be significant trade players depending on how aggressively they want to get involved with. They want to get involved with the likes of Pascal, Siakam, and others. So, yeah, I mean, this is coming. They're going to have to blow up the team. The Raptors are not very, they're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? And, everybody talks about what the Rockets are lacking or like what they want us to look like coming up this season with our young team, and they don't want us to be a 35-win team. But guess what? It's okay to be a 35-win team when your best players are 20 years old, they're 21, they're 22, they're 19. That's fine. Being a middle of the road team with a bunch of babies is actually a good thing. That means you're progressing upwards. When you got 31, 32, 33-year-olds filling out your roster and you're winning 40 games and being a play-in team and an 8 seed, you got to make decisions there. So I think the Raptors have some big decisions. What does that mean for the Rockets? It means a lot, right? As I'm seeing over the next few days and leading up to the draft, a lot of teams, we're going to see some of them are starting to throw their hat into that top 4 race, because one thing there's a lot of teams out there that have a lot of assets. Even though the Rockets have some good assets, we're not the richest team in the NBA, right? You know what I mean? If you think about what the OKC and Chris Paul trade for the Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul trade did to us, we have our assets tied up with OKC for the next 3 or 4 years. And, we have the Brooklyn picks, but it's really 2 picks and 2 swaps left. And, so that's not really just a lot. You know, you have some seconds, we have maybe some of our future picks that are starting to show up as the years come along, but we don't have a lot of assets like the Utah Jazz of the world, you know what I mean, that have 15 first round picks, like the OKC that have 1 million first round picks. So there's gonna be a lot of teams that are gonna be competing with us for some of these players. But if Toronto wants to get in there, you already know I put them in the same category as Brooklyn as a trade up team. Like, we can facilitate some things with them to give them assets, for them to ship over a good player to the Blazers in return for us getting 3, or in the case of the Hornets, number 2. Or if they want to trade back, there's some interesting scenarios that they could do. Here's a funny one. It says the Guangdong Tigers are on board to land D'Angelo Russell per Bet Online. Like, bro, they got D'Lo on the damn Bet Online odds. Him going to China is an odd, bro. That's so disrespectful, but it's funny as hell. I just have to throw that in there. Another new bit of news: the Wizards would like to move into the top 3 of the draft per Hyken, whoever the ad Hyken is from NBA Central. Yeah, they're also rumored to be trying to trade away Bradley Beal. So they've come out and say that they're basically going to strip it down and blow it up. And this frees up a lot of stuff. You got Kyle Kuzma in the mix there, a guy that, you know, he's an interesting fit. I don't know what Kyle would look like in Houston, but I wouldn't be mad at it. You know what I mean? I liked what he showed in Washington. Obviously, you guys, if you watched me on Locked on Rockets, you would know how I feel about Kristaps Porzingis. I think he's a perfect fit for Houston. He does have 1 year left on his salary. I think he has a player option or something like that. That's like 30-something million. Would I be willing to deal with that for 1 season? Yes, I would. I think that's a good usage of your cap space. If he's healthy, you get a guy that you can play pretty much in any lineup. He looked really good in Washington. Really, really good. Loved how he looked. So I wouldn't be mad at that. The Wizards are going to blow it up. So that does kind of dilute the market for assets, because that means teams' attention is going to be drawn towards them as well, as we're trying to make deals. Another bit of news: the Hornets are seeking the sun, the moon, the stars, and maybe some beachfront property in exchange for the number 2 pick. And that's from Amico Hoops. So yeah, I mean, they're going to posture. I mean, you start off, you know, if you're going to negotiate, you want to start off at the top, then work your way to the middle. So they asking for the world, man. They want the diamonds and pearls. So yeah, I ain't mad at them. That does make it a little difficult for us to move up to 2. But the way things are going, it's really, really hard to really assess what's real and what's not. I think there's a lot of capping going on. Speaking of capping, once again, if you didn't hear, we got the new merch store. So drop by in there and get you a Stop Capping t-shirt from the Chop Shop, man. We dropping that heat, bro. But yeah, so there's a lot of capping going on, and that's going to be the theme for the summer. All these teams are capping. I'm going to steal the old OSN, if y'all remember the streamer. They capping their tits off. There's a lot of people capping their tits off right now. Yeah, it's crazy right now. It's crazy cap season, but the Hornets seeking that. What does that mean for the Rockets? I don't know. Maybe 2 is out of range. We just don't know. Another bit of news: Chicago Bulls are contacting teams, engaging the trade interest for Zach Lavine, per Jake Fisher. Yeah, they're going to call teams. He could be a possible move that could take him to the Blazers. If I was the Blazers, I'd be looking at that as well. I don't know if Zach Lavine is worth the 3rd pick, though. I don't know. Maybe just straight up, they would make that swap where they get Lavine and maybe they have to fill the salary, obviously, and then the Blazers kick over the 3rd pick to them. Maybe we can get involved in that. If I'm Rafael Stone, I'm calling everybody just to see whether you like the trade or not, whether you like the move or not, the transaction or not. You want to see what's out there. So you want to gauge the market. I would do it just to see whether you can get your hands on something, you know what I mean, like that Denzel clip says.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
You know what I mean? I'm going home with something. I'm from around the way. That's my motto if I'm a GM, I'm going home with something. I'm from around the way. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Yeah, I think Chicago's in the same boat as Washington and Toronto. Need to go ahead and just blow that up. Other bit of news, some NBA executives believe Trey Young may eventually push for a trade. I've known some people to rumor him that maybe Houston should pursue Trey Young as a point guard. Not sure how I feel about him. I love Trey Young as a player. I think he's very gifted, but he's gotten a lot of coaches fired. And there's something about his temperament that I don't like. I'm a big intangibles guy. I know he's, ice Trey. I'm not talking about on the court. just that leadership aspect. I really sorely think whoever the Rockets are going to bring in should be a positive in that department. We can't bring in any more kids and immature guys. So no to Dylan Brooks, but you know what I mean. So that's definitely something we should keep an eye on. Trey Young on the move. Another bit of news: the Celtics are contemplating the possibility of dealing one of their guards, and that their guards include White and include Marcus Smart. I've seen somebody propose a Marcus Smart trade. I do it. I think Marcus Smart fits what I just described, the character guy. You know what I mean? He's a hooper. He's a baller. He's a guy that's played in the finals, been pretty much in the playoffs almost every year of his career, except maybe like one or two. I think he's going to bring a fieriness to the team. He's a guy that's played with Coach Udoka. Yeah, bring it on. If we can get Marcus Smart, maybe that 20th pick could be used to try to facilitate something there. That's something I would look at if I'm the Rockets. You know, it might cost you one of your peripheral players and a pick, but I think bringing guys like that really makes the team look very serious, and it brings a lot of things to the locker room that we need for these young dudes. And then you know, we got this news coming out of Draft Express saying that both Scoot Henderson and Brandon Miller worked out this week in Charlotte. Scoot Henderson definitely was the better of the two, I'm told. And this is via the Low Post. And so, you know, I mean, duh, right? You already know how I feel about Scoot, bro. There's no way you can watch this man get in the gym, slice and dice the workout, right? Show you that freaky athletic ability, show you the control with the basketball, show you the fact that he can make every pass in the passing tree, show you that this dude is a worker, show you that he is a top tier athlete, all of that stuff. And then you come away and just be like, nah, we good. So yeah, obviously Scoot is the goods. He got a 6'9" wingspan, built like an NFL strong safety. The dude is I'm a still Stephen A. He's sensational. So Brandon Miller, I'm okay with Brandon Miller. I'm not like, you know, in context of other players that we've discussed, the Scoots of the world, even to a lesser extent, Amen Thompson. I think Brandon Miller is probably more of a traditional pick to make. I think for the Rockets, the reason that I'm not like gung-ho about Brandon Miller, even though he very well might be a Rocket, is that if you look at our previous picks, Jalen and Jabari in the top 5, these are guys that are non-ball handlers that have to learn to become better in that zone. And I feel like once you keep drafting these archetypes of players, it really makes it hard for you to put together the type of team you want. The premium in the draft, that's why Paulo went first. That's why Cade went first. That's why these guys go first every year. The premium type of player to really set the floor for your franchise is going to be a ball handler. Those ball handlers are really what set the floor for your team, because once you have one of those elite guys that can create for their teammates, then you accentuate what the Jabari Smiths and the Jalen Greens do. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important that the Rockets come out of this process by hook or crook with a guy that can be that point guard for the next 5 to 7 years. So that's what they need to be looking for, because these guys just don't grow on trees. So yeah, I think that Scoot being working out better is a no-brainer. He's a better prospect. Nobody said he was generational just because, bro. Like, the dude is a rare combination of athleticism and IQ and the floor generalship that he brings to the table. This is not a combination you usually see. It's usually guys are over relying on their athletic ability, and they're not able to translate that to the court as far as seeing the game, or the guys are IQ geniuses because they lack athleticism, so they have to focus on film, focus on how to read the game. He does both. He does both, and he can shoot, and he's over here practicing shooting with Steph Curry. Another bit of news: the Utah Jazz are rumored to be in the market for Scoot Henderson and Amen Thompson in the draft. And it says this is from the Monty Show. He says Utah Jazz sources tell him the club is targeting Scoot Henderson and Amen Thompson in the draft and will be willing to give up a first-round pick to make that happen. What is he talking about? To give up a? He better mean multiple. Likely the Jazz would have to trade up to 2 to guarantee Henderson, or 4 to get Thompson. The Jazz value those two equally and as the best PG prospects they have seen. And so this is from the Utah Jazz through their local people leaking out that they're interested in moving up. Once again, the field is getting crowded, and you gotta be able to use that to your advantage. got to use that to your advantage. The last bit of news, the Raptors have explored trades to move up into the top 3 per Kevin O'Connor. So you got Utah in the mix now. You got Toronto in the mix now. As the days go on, you're going to start seeing more teams talking about trading up into the mix and trying to get into the top 2, top 3 because they value the Scoot Henderson and the man Thompson. I think that's really the Wemby. San Antonio already said that they're not taking calls on nobody. So the whole the sweepstakes now is going to be for Scoot and man Thompson. I think the Rockets are in actually pretty prime position. I think we're in good position because between the Blazers trying to be competitive, the Hornets winning the Sun, Moon, and Stars for the number 2 pick, you're going to get a lot of variance with these teams as far as what they actually want. And somebody's going to get left out. Somebody could be a man Thompson, could be Scoot Henderson, very well could be Brandon Miller. But I think it's interesting because it opens up a lot of scenarios for the Rockets if they want to trade back, if they want to trade out, they want to draft it. It's going to be very interesting. If I'm Rafael Stone, man, I'm prepping. I got all my speed dials set. I got my algorithm board saying if this happens, that happens. It's going to be a very, very stressful night for them. It's going to be a stressful night for them, but this is great for us. I'm going to do these news segments more because there's so much stuff just dropping every minute on Twitter. So I'll keep all up to date on all the NBA news that relates to the Rockets, the draft as we approach it. I think it's like 6-7 days away, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're here. We made it. And before you know it, it's going to be free agency. They're going to be announcing who they sign. Before you know it, it's going to be the first game. You're going to have a new lineup with Coach Udoka. Exciting times for the Rockets, to be a Rockets fan. Shout out to y'all. Y'all made it through. Let me know if you like the news segment. Let me know, what do you think about all this news dropping? You know what I mean? Is it good for the Rockets? Is it bad for the Rockets? Should we be panicking? Should we chill? I'm thinking we should just sit back and watch what happens because, like I said, today's NBA is not tomorrow's NBA. Today's price is not going to be tomorrow's prices. A lot of capping going on. Get your Stop Capping t-shirts. Keep rocking with the Chop Shop. Keep supporting the channel. We're going to keep doing what we do and drop this
fire.